Okay, great. No, if there's only questions, we're going to do a little 5-minute things, your stretch around time. We're going to just, people have stuff to announce. Jonathan, I know you got something. You're hiding this whole, yeah. Well, let me get you the mic. Let me pass this one down this way, and I'll get you the mic that way.
Good morning. My name's Hill Andrews. I'm with Experis. I thought this would be good timing for my announcement, which is, and I made this announcement, I think 3 or 4 months ago, but I'm making it again because it was so successful. So looking for 5 junior project managers who are looking to get into a great client, international client here in Baltimore. So if you know anyone who's looking to break into the field, it's a great opportunity to kind of get your feet wet without having to be the water boy or water girl first. And also my company's looking to hire sales and recruiters as well. So come see me if you're interested in either. Thanks.
Okay, Jonathan, what's up here with this tour?
All right.
Maybe you want to introduce yourself first. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jonathan Rivlin. I'm one of the co-founders of Band Happy, and presented at the April Baltimore Tech Breakfast. Thank you to Ron and DLA Piper for having this event here. It's a lot closer for me. I could just walk here. So thank you. Okay, so it's been a busy 60 days, and in the time, June 16th, the Vans Warped Tour started, and I couldn't really talk about it when I presented in April because the deal wasn't quite done yet. So what's happening is Vans Warped Tour started a venture fund for music-related startups, and we're their pilot project. So we have this 20 by 20 foot Band Happy music lessons tent that's going to be at all 41 dates for the tour, and all these musicians from the tour are teaching lessons, and it's insane. It's the first time in the 18-year history of this famous tour that they've ever done anything like this, and it's selling out every single day.
Wow.
And it's keeping me very busy. That's why I wasn't at last month's Tech Breakfast. Sorry about that. So anyway, the Vans Warped Tour is coming to our town, Columbia, Maryland. I think it's July 24th. So get a ticket, bring your kids, and check it out, and stop by and say hi. Andy and I'll be there. What else? Oh, and so also in the last time, let's see, we were featured in the Baltimore Sun, Baltimore Magazine, Inc. Magazine, Modern Drummer Magazine, with my partner Matt Halpern's face all over the cover. And we were just on TV was it last night or 2 nights ago, in one of the California-based affiliates of Fox News. So
awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
Baltimore represent. Awesome.
Hi, I'm Daniel Waldman. My company is Evolve Communications. We're actually a new sponsor of the B2B. And earlier this year, we launched Rocket Packs for Startups. We're a PR and marketing firm. And basically what Rocket Packs is 3 different levels of low-cost, affordable marketing and PR tools designed specifically for startups. Some of our clients in the area includes 410 Labs, Bizello, Parking Panda, and WooFound. So if you're interested in talking more about PR for your company or marketing for your company, I hope I'll have a chance to chat with you. Thanks.
Great. You can pass it up here to Kenan up front. Okay, great. One more, and then another one, and then I got something to show you. Yep.
Good morning. My name is Tom Stack. I work with Tech Systems in Baltimore. We just started a regional Microsoft delivery team. It's my job for Baltimore and DC to focus on Microsoft technologies, .NET, SharePoint, and SQL. So I'm really just looking to network with professionals like yourselves that work in those skill sets and learn a little bit more about Microsoft. Thank you.
Great. Good job. Kenan?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kenan Fort from York, Pennsylvania. My marketing identity is King of Facilitating because I build strategic alliances and joint venture partnerships. Just one of my current projects is working with the company behind the social media magazines, new magazines at socialmediamags.com, company part owned by Jay Abraham. Currently, we have a Be the Media campaign going whereby you can own your own magazine that's completely done for you. Imagine what your prospects and people that are interested in what you have would see your image on the front cover with quality individuals like this. So talk to me.
Great. Okay, cool. I want to share one thing with you guys. If you remember, we asked the question, what's the zip code of where you live and what's the zip code of where you work? And also when you register for Meetup, you indicate your location. Between all of that, we got a little bit of interesting information I wanted to share with you. The first is, it's interesting, we actually have some members of our Meetup that are not in the United States. We have one person from Chile, Santiago, Chile, one person from the United Kingdom, a couple of people from California, and a smattering in the Middle Coast, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's just, I'm not really expecting them to attend, but kudos to you. Who here is from Santiago, Chile? Because I will give you the reward for longest traveled. But let's focus on the big block there. So we have 624 members or something like that of our Meetup, which is pretty awesome, first of all. 610 of them are that big pie right there in Maryland. So let's zoom in a little bit on that. Even among that, we have some folks who travel. I know we have Philly. These are you guys from technically Philly. We had a couple people from New York. Is anybody here coming down from New York? Because kudos to you, braving that traffic, 8 o'clock in the morning. We have actually a nice collection of folks from DC. How many people are coming up from DC for this event? Nobody here this time? Okay, one or two, which is great. And a bunch of folks so getting a little closer, a bunch of folks from Columbia. Columbia? Okay, now here's the thing about Columbia. We've had a lot of interest in Columbia, and we're working with Gloria at the Howard County Economic Development Alliance, EDA. Maryland Center for Entrepreneurship. And one of the things we're looking at doing is we're looking at opening up a second location for our tech breakfast down in Columbia. And this is in August. So we're going to put out an announcement about that. If you're down in the Columbia area and you're interested in doing a showcase, we don't want it to cannibalize too much from Baltimore. So we're going to have it on a different date. They won't overlap. If you're interested in coming to both, you can definitely come to both. For those of you that could never make it to the Baltimore one and want to make it to Columbia one, we're going to try to open a second location. So that should be pretty exciting. That was really the primary purpose for doing this, is to kind of see where our folks are coming from. Zooming in a little bit more, most of you are actually coming from kind of roughly equivalent, actually north and south of the city. You see a lot of folks from Reisterstown, Towson, as well as the city. And this is where we asked folks, my font in the top got a little wonky. We asked you where you live. Most of you live, for those of you that are coming here, this is for the folks that answered the questions in the profile, where do I live and where do I work? Most of you are coming either from the city of Baltimore or in the Reisterstown area. So nice little chunk of the folks, a few folks from Columbia. But a lot of you actually work farther south. So that was the big interesting to us. A lot of you work north, live north, work south. There are a bunch of folks who are from Frederick. How many of you are here from Frederick? There are a few of you. And it seems like there's a lot of interest down there. So we're keeping an eye on that. Just thought you'd be interested to know. Paris is here. We're still trying to get some answers. So she's actually got the badges for you. She wasn't able to make it. She was unfortunately in a car accident this morning. Sorry, Paris. Sorry. But she's got some badges for you. Maybe during the next round, she'll see if she can go around. Please see her. If you haven't answered those two questions, she's going to write them down, and we'll put them in the spreadsheet, and then we'll get some better answers in case maybe somebody meant Santiago, like Maryland. Is there a Santiago, Maryland? No. Okay. Without further ado, let's continue with the show. We have our folks here. Ben, right? No, yes, you're up next, right? And let me just replug you in to the thingamahoos, dingle whopper, and bada bing. Oh, do you have to flip it?
Yeah, I gotta open it.
Okay. All right.
Let's see if it wakes up. Okay. So no slides. Just want to talk a little bit about Firejack Technologies. I'm Ben Miller. I'm the CEO and founder of the company. And we've been really quietly doing business out of Columbia, Maryland since March of last year. So we're pretty young. And really what we have focused on is we have a lot of people on our team that have worked with a lot of different organizations. And what we found is that if you are trying to do business online, or you're trying to produce an offering online, or you're just trying to deal with data, today everything is about the platform. And what that means is you've got data, you've got content, you've got media you need to deal with, you need to get that out, you need to integrate with things, you have to be ready to integrate with web devices, with mobile devices, and this is extremely costly, it takes time, you have to have the right expertise, you have to pick a technology and a stack. And every day, we know that there are projects out there that are awesome, and they are just falling on their face because they miss, one of the 5 major things that you have to have: talent, infrastructure, planning. Something goes wrong for all the wrong reasons. So what we've tried to do is we have built a product that automates the creation of a complete online software platform in a few days. It creates the stack for you. You can go from 0 to a working, clustered, running system that supports developer APIs, working web applications. It's mobile ready in no time. And we can sit down with customers and do this in a matter of hours. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump in and kind of show you our product. We've made our first kind of official public launch of our product in April of this year. We're now working on version 1.4, which is our follow-up to the version that we launched in April. And I'm just going to kind of jump in and show you what I did on an alpha server today in 20 minutes. So we basically stood up a new server, installed our platform, threw up kind of a goofy idea for a way that people can share notes online about different subjects, and built a complete working web application in 20 minutes that is completely web service enabled and ready to deal with mobile devices. So this is the OpenFlame homepage. Again, OpenFlame installs itself in about 10 minutes. And you come in, and it's already ready with Google login, Facebook login, Twitter login, which is also available to your applications that you build, so you don't have to spend any time doing that kind of integration. I log in, and I come to the web-based management console, which sort of has my whole enterprise laid out for me. And for me, I started by saying, I want to start this site called mystudypartner.com, and I just want people to be able to share notes on different subjects together and collaborate. And I don't have a great idea about what I want to do yet, but I'm thinking, I'm going to have subjects and subject areas, and then I'm going to have notes. Let's start with that. Let's get that working so I can enter data and mess with the data, and then we'll go from there. So OpenFlame kind of lets you come in and visually tell us what your data looks like. I've got these subject areas. Areas define specific subject areas that are universally known, such as math and science. I come in and I say, hey, these just have names. They're really simple, look up data. Then you can see that when I created that, it automatically created the basic operations I need to deal with that data. And then I have a subject, which is a little more elaborate. Again, like everything you're seeing is auto-created. These are subjects that are actually entered by students who want to share information. You're going to be able to like find stuff that's already there. And I'm just describing kind of like the business idea in conceptual terms. And then I describe the kind of information I want. These are just names and descriptions. And then I have notes. And at some point, when I feel I have enough, I've also explained relationships in the software. Like notes are related to subjects. Subjects are related to areas in these ways. I can come in and literally say, hey, let's generate code for this application. And it generates a deployable working database, a working web application, working web services that have developer documentation and they're completely secure. You can also control all the security from this console. There's about 100 different features built into the console that you would normally have to build yourself: user management, authorization management, data level security management. And then, and really we try to focus on understanding that really the platform is the core of your business. Web applications are reasonably easy to build. Designers can throw together JavaScript that's sexy. If you have a working back-end application that can track your data, process your data, you can access mobile phones, you can integrate, you have won at that point, right? You can hire almost anybody to help you with the rest. We're trying to automate that process so you can focus on your business. Once again, the generation process also bakes your stuff into this nice little browsable web application that shows the documentation of how your platform actually works to your developers. So here we've got what My Study Partner is all about. Here's our platform, kind of describes the main platform. Here's the common data area, describes what the common data area is. Here's an area. It's like, hey, we have these things called areas. Here's what they're all about. They're related to subjects, by the way, and here's how. Here's all the operations I can support. Well, if you want to create a subject, here's how you do it. Wham, here's a REST example. Just hit that URL and create a subject right away, right? All this was auto-generated in 15 minutes with the platform. all I did was tell it what my data looked like. And then at the very end, I get to come in, and if I come back to the kind of domain manager, and once again I open my domain, I open my package, you can see that, hey, my platform is actually deployed at this URL. And I have a working, ready to go, browsable web application that has all my data in it. I can come in and see all the subjects I've entered. I can see I've got a couple of subjects in there. I can add a new subject. Hey, college algebra. And then I pick a subject area, and I say it's a math class, and I save it. And now I've got college algebra as a subject, and now I can come into study, and I can look at a note. I've got a whole database of notes, a couple of notes in here, and I can say, you know what, I can kind of type in a headline, you know, starting algebra today, etc., and pick the subject. And you can even do multiple subjects if you want, if it's related to multiple subjects. And there you have it. So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
Great.
All right.
Good stuff. So, the business, I know I'm interested. So it's got the word open in it. Is it an open source platform? Is it closed? Talk a little about pricing, license, blah, blah, blah.
So OpenFlame is completely built on open source technology, so nothing that we package with our stuff costs anything. Our platform does cost something. We do enterprise licensing for anywhere from $2,000 for an annual license to $25,000 to $50,000. That is completely based on your expected transaction volume. And once you licensed it for your expected transaction volume, if you're going to install it in-house, you have free reign to install it anywhere within your walls as much as you want. We don't believe in per-user pricing. We don't believe in hardware-based pricing. We say, look, if you're going to use it X amount, you pay what that's worth to you, and you get it. We're also doing a lot of hosting for early on kind of consumers, where we can stand up a hosted environment in development for $100 a month. We can scale it all the way up to $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month if you're doing millions and millions of transactions a day. It really just depends on, it's really all about how many transactions you're putting through the system. So we try and make it extremely affordable. Under the covers, every piece of code that we generate is exactly the same code that a good engineer would write, and there's almost nothing proprietary minus a few basic kind of bootstrap frameworks that we interject ourselves to interface with the platform services. Everything the console does is also web service enabled in REST and in SOAP, and you have that completely open API. So if you want to do things that our platform is doing for yourself, you just use the developer APIs.
Mm-hmm. Questions? Hey, Jason, how you doing? Got a mic back there? Good.
Is it on? Ben, great presentation. Quick question for is a use case for your technology for an entrepreneur, especially someone who's not a programmer, to be able to prototype an idea and then use that to present to a programmer when they're ready to scale?
Yeah. So again, our stuff. So yeah. That does work, and what we typically do is we actually interface with people. We'll help them we're doing a lot of this work where we do 30 days from concept to reality, and we'll work with somebody alongside them, provide consulting services, and for a few $1,000s, we'll get a prototype that's extremely impressive and has all these features built in and does all these integrations, really from concept to reality. Underneath the covers, the software that's generated here is world-class software. I would put it up against anyone's software. It's the same software that, if you hired serious engineers to write it, it would look like this. It should look like this. It's using Hibernate, underneath, Spring, typical Java-based technologies that big organizations struggle to get right. There's built-in scaling, and so hopefully you won't have to switch gears once you prototype something, right? You prototype, you stick with that technology, you move forward. We're working with a ton of people that have done the prototype thing, spent a year on it, and now they need to reinvent, right? They basically need to go back to Formula to have a real platform because they want to go mobile, or they want to go iPad, or they want to go both, right? And they don't have the underlying platform from the beginning, so.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we're almost there. We're winding down a little bit. We got one more to go. It's Terrence McGregor at Cowtrip. First of all, thank you. Give you applause.